Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to Talking Reds, where we've been the latest Liverpool news and transfer news and much more. Welcome in, guys. Get in the chat tonight. We need lots of comments tonight. Get in the chat, get involved, because there's been lots of news to talk about. Big, important updates from today. Darwin Nunez is on his way to Al Hilal. The Isak fallout is major right now. He has returned to training for Newcastle, but it has not got down as planned as we thought it would be. Isak and his agent are still pushing for that move to Liverpool. And in recent hours, recent minutes, basically, Barcola is a big target now for Liverpool. Barcola, is it going to be Barcola or Isak? Is that the case? Are we moving on from Isak right now, looking at Barcola? I'll discuss that shortly, and obviously the future of Harvey Elliott as well, because Harvey Elliott is pretty much interested by RB Leipzig. So we're going to speak about it all tonight, guys. Make sure you do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you haven't done it already, hit that subscribe button. But most importantly, get in that chat and let me know your thoughts on today's news. Like I said, lots of news to go through. Big news. Not many stories, but the big stories at the time. So let's get through the chat first. So Adam said he's been in a Newcastle chat, and who did say there, Adam, what they're talking about there, Adam. Also, my kids love their first game, said Adam as well. Absolutely fantastic. One sec. Happy it's not coming up. 1 second. Is that coming up? Why are they not coming up? For some reason, the chat are not coming up on the screen, but I will go through the chat anyway. I'm clicking them to show them on the screen, but for some reason not coming up. But I will go for a minute. Adam says also my kids love their first game. I'm glad they did, Adam. It was a good game, wasn't it? It was a good, entertaining game. So I'm glad they enjoyed it, and I'm sure they loved it when Salah scored. What's this with Barcola rumors? Nothing is coming up, guys. I'm clicking the chat, but it's not coming up onto the screen. But I will go through it anyway. What's this news about Barcola and Isak? So basically, James, in the last, say, 10, 15 minutes, the Barcola news is starting to come out, where we are looking at bringing Barcola in. Dave O'Clock put it out there first. Then Loic Tanzi, was the next one to put it out. Also very, very reliable in France. Liverpool want to sign PSG winger Bradley Barcola. Then it was confirmed by Fabrice Hawkins. Again, another very credible journalist from France. So it's all coming out now about Bradley Barcola. So we're going to get out to Bradley Barcola, but this could be moving on from Isak potentially. Who saw that coming? A lot of people saying there who's reporting on Barcola. We need at least 3 players, says Kev. I do apologize if your comments don't come up. I do apologize. I'm pressing them, and for some reason they're not coming up. I might try. I'll tell you what I'll do, guys. I wonder if there's a way. I was wondering if there's a way to get him up on YouTube. I don't think there is. But yeah, let me go for the news anyway. Let's start off with Isak, because Isak's obviously the big talking point right now, and we're not coming away from Isak at all. So Isak did go to training this afternoon. He didn't go this morning. So Newcastle have told Isak to only come this afternoon. According to reports that the squad and the players brought their families and their children for a team meeting and like a nice get together, team bonding sort of session, and Isak was not invited to that. Isak was actually told to come later on. I think it was about 5 o'clock, apparently. Well, in the afternoon anyway, on his own, and he struggled. He trained basically on his own at Newcastle, away from the rest of the team. That is. And I get it from Newcastle's point of view. Eddie Howe has to make a statement out of him, because at the end of the day, he has gone AWOL. He shouldn't be going AWOL when he's under contract. And if this was a Liverpool player, I'll be the first to put my hands up and say that's simply not good enough for a Liverpool player. Yes, you want to go, but you don't do it. Diaz wanted to go, but he didn't go AWOL. Does that make sense? So I don't agree with how he's gone about it, but I understand the frustration of Isak and wanting to go as well. If broken promises have happened at Newcastle, then I understand the frustrations, but there's a way of going about it. I would say exact same with Trent. Trent, if you want to move on, move on. Don't bother me, but go about it respectfully. So yeah, Eddie Howe basically made an example of him, made him train by himself this afternoon away from the players, and to work on the thigh injury that he has. And yeah, it's very, very, very frosty right now between Isak and Newcastle. And it's a very, very ugly situation that didn't need to come about. if Newcastle stuck to promises, either let him go this summer, because the reports keep coming out, David Ornstein spoke about it, they've made their intentions clear. Isak and his agent has made their intentions clear this season that this is going to be last season for the club. So if they've made that clear and Newcastle aren't willing to listen to offers or not letting him leave, and they're not giving him a new contract that he deserves, and again in the transfer window, not backing Eddie Howe and to go to the next level, to push on again, does Isak want to be at a club that doesn't want to keep pushing on again and again? It's all right getting Champions League one season as Newcastle, celebrate the Carabao Cup. But now, Newcastle, you need to go push on, try get Champions League again, try pushing other cups again. And right now, in the transfer window, it don't seem like they're able to do that. So you could understand the frustrations, but again, I do think Isak has dealt with it incorrectly. I don't know how he'd have dealt with it, but it is what it is. Should we get through more of the chat as well? Going on about Isak, but Sesko joining Man U because of money and one game a week. He's going to be there because of history and legacy. And despite it's Man United, but we got some very good players when we used to be bad. Exactly, Adam. I mean, that's we spoke about the weighing up the options of Man United or Newcastle United. And at the end of the day, there's negatives and positives both sides. If Newcastle right now, actually, if honestly, Newcastle would look like a better place to go right now for like a Sesko, for example, if they were sorting shit out in the background. They've got no sporting director. Eddie Howe's fuming with what's gone on this summer. They're losing Isak potentially. They're not bringing any players in, really, not pushing on, as I've just said there. So when you're looking at Man United and Newcastle, you've got to look at the positives and negatives of both sides. And at the moment, there is a lot of negatives at Newcastle, as well as Man United, the shit. But can they be shit forever? Or can Newcastle go again? At the end of the day, I think Sesko had a big choice to make, and I think I'm not saying he made the wrong choice. So I would never join Man United regardless. Like I said, I said the other night, I play for Bromley rather than Man United on less money. But I think he had a tough choice to make because there's lots of negatives and positives on both sides at the moment. Liverpool fans losing their heads with fake Barcola to Liverpool for 100 million. Yeah, I mean, they're not. I said you're saying the fake, but they actually are credible journalists, though, Steve. They are credible journalists. I mean, you got David Kopp came out first, then Loic Tanzi came out of it. Very credible journalist in France, and also a very credible journalist from France in Fabrice Hawkins as well. The issue is that coming because it's coming from France? Is that PSG just using Liverpool's name a little bit, or his agent using Liverpool's name? Who knows? It's very coincidental. With what's going on with Sesko and Newcastle, what's going on at Newcastle right now, and potentially Isak, who knows, he might stay. I very much doubt it, but he might stay. Very coincidental to then put out Barcola rumours, Barcola links. It's quite easy to, if that makes sense, it's quite easy to stick right now. It's quite easy to throw it and it sticks. Further dart with the eyes closed, and it's going to hit bull. That's what it's going to do right now because it makes sense for us to move on to Barcola if Isak isn't available. So is it one of those journalist moments where it's like, yeah, we'll put it out now just for timing and it makes sense. So people are going to believe it and click on it. But yeah, I won't mind Barcola if I'm honest. He's a very, very good player. If that situation is ridiculous, said Jen, we need to put our foot down. Barcola, goodbye, said Alex. Alex also said Isak as well. Totally agree. Newcastle are a joke, said Alex as well. I mean, we could talk about Newcastle all night about how bad their transfer window has gone, and how this is why Isak's now pushing where he is pushing. Yeah, is Nunez going, to Alex? So yeah, we're going to move on to Nunez shortly. Nunez is going, by the way. I was going to go through the everything that came out today about Isak because so much has come out today about Isak. So Isak did not change teammates this morning. Alexander Isak has told to report on his own to the training ground after the rest of the players and their families have left. That was through Sky Sports. And then it went on to, in fact, I'm going to read this out actually because I'm very, very interested to read this by Melissa Reddy, obviously, very well-known journalist, and she actually put a tweet out about the situation with Isak. Whether I think it's her opinion, but she's got very good links as well and into these clubs and see what's going on. So this is what she said. I found it very interesting what she said. So this is what Melissa's ready to tweet. Let me read it out. The frustration for Alexander Isak and his camp is they felt very clearly and respectfully informed Newcastle of the forward's desire to explore a fresh challenge well ahead of this summer. So basically, Isak and his camp have told Newcastle well ahead into the season that they're wanting to do something else this summer. In doing so, it afforded the club the chance to attack the market on the front foot and secure a quality replacement long before it got to a messy point. It's not Isak's fault Newcastle had a mare, missing out on so many top targets. If anything, it probably hardens the belief that their approach and ambition doesn't align with his. There is no solid recruitment foundation. She then went on to talk about the relationship they have now here. Given how the window's gone, can Newcastle really actually land a replacement for Isak? If they force him to stay, can they get the max amount of him in absence of that human touch? So they've lost the human touch. They've lost the communications with Isak. Is basically fallen out of him massively over all this. If they sell him, can they be trusted to reinvest their British record some wisely? So it is like a bit of a catch-22. And we said this before. I said this personally before. And people say, oh, yeah, just give them the money, they can invest it in elsewhere. There's no guarantee that works. But on the other hand, there's no guarantee like everyone gets it right with like a Coutinho sell, and then you go spend on Alisson, Van Dijk. There's no guarantee that ever is going to fully work. But right now, I think it's gone so far down the line. I think it's got so ugly. I think it's got so messy. I think there's too many bridges being burnt, too much water under the bridge, and a lot of bridges here. Just not the bridge to Anfield. But it's got too far. Basically, it's gone too far that I can't see Isak staying. I can't see it right now. Like I said, if they force him to stay, are they going to get the best out of him? Probably not now. Probably not. Is he a player to down tools? I don't know, I didn't think he was a player to push like the way he has, but he has done. So it's nothing surprises me anymore in the saga. Nothing surprises me anymore in the saga. And with Sesko now going to Manchester United, and that came out this morning that he has chosen Manchester United over Newcastle, which didn't surprise me at all because at the end of the day, Newcastle's a shit show right now. As much as Man United's a shit show, anyway, at least they're looking to go in the right direction. Newcastle look like they're going backwards, which makes no sense to me. But that does have a big impact because if Newcastle don't get their replacement, because that's what we've been told all summer. That's what we've been told. If Newcastle get a replacement, we might be hoping to the doors of leaving, despite him being not for sale like 3 weeks ago. That's what we've been told. If we get a replacement in and you pay the right money, you can have him basically. But now that it looks like they're not bringing a replacement in Sesko certainly, because that was the reported replacement. Now it's like sitting back and just thinking, yeah, are they actually going to bring anyone in? And I said it this morning. If we're relying on Newcastle to bring players in for our transfer, that's not good for us because Newcastle are not doing fuck all at the moment. They're absolutely terrible at bringing anyone in. I mean, like I said, they've got no sporting director. It just makes no sense what's going on there. They've absolutely messed the club up. And then more things has come out as well by Romano. So the desire of Isak is still the same. He wants to go to Liverpool. Newcastle are interested in Nicholas Jackson. That was another thing that came up as well, according to Romano. And I've been speaking to a Chelsea fan. I was like, please let Jackson go. I'm begging you, let Jackson go to Newcastle. Because I know I'm in a chat with like an Arsenal fan, Chelsea fan. It's a Style of Play podcast. You'll know who they are. If you go on Style of Play podcast on YouTube, I've appeared on it a few times, but I'm in a chat with them. And we talk about it all the time. Like they're dying Isak not to join Liverpool. They're absolutely praying Isak just doesn't join Liverpool. And they're all celebrating Sesko joining Man United. There's a Man United fan in there as well. So they're all celebrating Sesko joining Man United because of it impacts us and Isak not joining Liverpool. However, I said today, right, make sure Jackson does them because that's even worse for them. Because not only have Man United strengthened in Sesko, Jackson's gone to Newcastle and we still get Isak. So that would be a brilliant outcome for us. So Conte Romano, they have made contact for the player situation. So it's one to watch, he said, is regarding Nicholas Jackson and Newcastle. Some more reports. Again, like I said, so many reports today about Newcastle, about Isak. I literally can't keep up with it. I really can't. But I've got to talk about them because there's so much has gone on today. Lee Ryder, who is obviously the Newcastle writer for the Chronicle up in the Northeast. Again, very good connections to Newcastle. He knows not exactly what's going on, but he knows a lot what's going on. So this was what he had to say. Liverpool have received plenty of encouragement to submit a new bid for Isak. The money is all well and good, but Newcastle have struggled to get deals done. Crucial few weeks lie ahead. So Liverpool are confident of coming back for a bid. Remember the reports last week when we said we're not coming back for a bid, and they moonwalk quickly back. They backtracked so quick that they could beat Usain Bolt going backwards. That is seemed far from the truth right now. It seems right now we are ready to make a second bid, and we feel like we can make a second bid. That is the reports that are coming out now. Ben Jacobs is also saying now Liverpool's plans to always add to try and get Isak and Ekitike in. So this is Ben Jacobs who said that we're not going to get a second bid. It's all changing right now, and even though Sesko has joined Manchester United, I think there's still a big possibility Isak still joins us regardless. Newcastle need to move on from Sesko. He's chosen. He's gone to Man United. Move on. There's no way. I don't think this season now, Newcastle go into this season with Isak and Visser. I don't think they're going into the season with Isak. I don't think you're going to get the better out of him. And I also think they need to look elsewhere, personally. They need two strikers that want to be part of that project, that want to move forward. As a club, you want to be like that. You want every player at your club to want to be there, want to part of that project, to look forward and be there a couple of years and a few years and looking down the line. Oh, I want to be here with Newcastle. You need that exact same opinion on Luis Diaz. If you want to leave the club, fair enough, leave the club. I don't want players that don't want to be here. And it's seeming like that could be the case now with Newcastle. And I think Newcastle fans are starting to turn that tap now of thinking the same way as well. I do think that. So yeah, I do think it's certainly one to look out for now. And the next week is crucial. Like Lee Ryder said there, the next week is absolutely crucial. And this is what David Arnstein also backed it up on what he's saying there. Remember, there's still 3 weeks left. This Isak transfer doesn't have to happen tomorrow. And I said this before as well. We're not in a full rush to get him in because we've got Ekitike as number 9. The only problem I have in terms of how long we take is when he gets match fit. That's the problem I have because he has not played any preseason games. He's not doing team training. Team training is completely different to individual training. He's not going to get match fit quick. So he might miss. He could miss up to like 4 or 5 games, Liverpool. If he signs for us, he could miss the first 3 just for not being at Liverpool. And then he could miss another 2 just for simply trying to get match fit. That's how it could be. Like I said, if you are joining us right now, for some strange reason, it is Newcastle fans. I'm absolutely certain messing around with the technical side of this streaming website right now. Getting in, Jonathan. Please tell me you have not gone into the restream. You've hacked restream. You tell me not to get these comments up because for some reason I'm pressing show on the comments, but they're not coming up onto the screen. But I will go through the comments anyway. I'll try not to miss as much as I can. X says Newcastle have said bid again. If this is true, said Mark. I've not seen anything on that, mate. I've not seen anything on that at all. I'll be very surprised if Newcastle has bid again, though. Imagine Newcastle just say, "Oh, come on, bid again." I can't imagine that ever being true, if I'm honest. Newcastle front 2, Watkins and Visser, said Steve. I think it's a good front 2, if I'm honest. I do think that's a good front 2. I really like Watkins, a very good player. And Visser's very good as well, but it's just Ed's not on his side at the moment. Eddie Howe is to be sacked before Christmas, said Adam. I feel sorry for Eddie Howe. I've got to be honest, and Jonathan's in the chat. I feel sorry for Eddie. I don't feel sorry for Newcastle fans as a whole, Jonathan. I feel sorry for you because you're a very like-minded Newcastle. The Newcastle fans that have come for me and abused me over the last 4 weeks, I do not feel sorry for them. But Eddie Howe, I do feel sorry for. I think Eddie Howe has managed this situation remarkably well under the circumstances. He's tried to be the boss that you expect him to be. You want him to sanction Isak. I'd want my boss to sanction a player that's been on AWOL. I would. We'd need to take a stance. And I said the exact same with Trent. I said, look, if you don't want to be at the club, you're not playing. We need to take a stance as a club. We need to have rules and boundaries here. You need to respect the club right. However, when asked in press conferences about the situation, he's also said, look, I'm not new to football. I understand the players' career short. And I think I get it. I think he thinks the same way what we do here, there's Eddie Howe. Like, he understands the frustrations of Isak, that he has been let down and he wants to go. And then fair enough, he wants to go, but handle it correctly. And that's where I think Eddie Howe has done right. On if he has punished Isak today, then we'd want the same as a Liverpool fan. Liverpool, if it was a Liverpool player and a Liverpool manager, would want the same to happen. You can't disrespect and go about it the wrong way. And I think, I feel sorry for Eddie Howe because he's a brilliant manager. He's never really got the credit he deserves either, Eddie Howe, because every time he got Newcastle to a certain level, it's like, because he didn't get Champions League again the year after. It's like, he's not good enough for Newcastle, not good enough, it's just not good enough. He's not going to take him to the next level. When really just needed, more additions. At the end of the day, it's not a massive, massive club to work on here, and he has took them to their first trophy in 70 years and Champions League football twice in 3 years. That's very impressive. That's very impressive. How are you anyway, Jonathan? I know you said, how are you? How are you as well? How are you today? How are you feeling? Dana, I've not done anything wrong to you. I know you haven't, Jonathan. No, you haven't. You definitely haven't. You've been brilliant, Jonathan. People, rivals like Jonathan need to be in spaces like this because they're absolutely brilliant. They're open to real conversations. They're open to banter. They're open to things like that. And down-to-earth people like Jonathan deserve to be heard. And that's why I absolutely appreciate you coming in, Jonathan. Only a 3-year contract for Nunez, Alex says. Yes, we're going to speak about Nunez. We're going to go on to Darwin Nunez because he's going to Al Hilal. I was going to get through more some of the comments. Eze, let's go get him. I don't know what's going on with Eze. I don't know why Arsenal aren't pushing for him as much. I don't get it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Wish we go for centre-back because if Virgil and Kanata get injured, we're stuffed. Touch wood, they don't get injured. I'm touching wood right now, my friend. Absolutely. Any news on centre-backs? Rumours. So we're going to speak... No, centre-backs... I'll speak about Matt Gahey towards the end. That's the last rumour we really had with centre-backs. Cresswell was rumored last week, but nothing really since. Rumours Barcola from PSG. Mark, yes, we will speak about that, certainly. Isak agent had talks with Newcastle directors today. They have been informed Isak is leaving with or without their wishes, said Steve. See, that's imagine having the balls to stand up to the directors and say, look, they've even got directors, they've even got sport directors, but the board and say, look, we're leaving whether you like it or not. Because at the end of the day, Newcastle still have all the cards. They don't have to accept any bid. They don't. They could say, fuck you, you're not accepting any bids and you're playing reserves for the season. They could do that. They have every power. There's no against it. They can't do that. No one as big as the club, said Jen. Absolutely. Is it true we want Barcola, said CJ? Yes, we're going to go on to Barcola. But before we do, the reason why we want Alexander Isak, the reason why we need another forward is because one forward is going in. And funnily enough, it's so funny. I don't know if anyone watched this morning's stream, but I did a pre-recorded stream. I did it at like 6:30 in the morning. So if I look tired, I do apologize. I did it at 6:30 in the morning. I put it out for 8:30 so I could watch it and be in the comments. So I did it like a premiere so you can get in the comments as well in the live chat. And whilst it was coming, all the news came out at the same time when the stream was going on. So the news had changed. Sesko had gone to chosen Man United went this morning, and then Nunez has pretty much agreed to Al Hilal this morning. And whilst I was still talking about live, it wasn't live because I pre-recorded it. It was a live stream though. It seemed like I wasn't talking about the actual updated news. I put it in the chat. I did put it in the chat there about that. Newcastle fans losing their minds with Isak transfer. I went on the Magpie TV channel and got racially profiled, and the most disgusting things were said to me. I'm so sorry to hear that, Waleed. I hope that's not true. Especially being racially profiled. That's not nice at all. I hope that's not true at all. But yeah, I'm sorry you went through that. You shouldn't be going through that at all. That's not good enough. If that's what happened, that's not good enough at all. But I would be stand to correct it if it doesn't happen. So glad Nunez is going. Why was at the match the other night? Was I right to thinking some of our fans booed Kanate? Said Adam. I didn't hear them, Adam. Is that what they did? I didn't hear them at all. I'd be very surprised. Why would they boo Kanate? I know he's talking about going, but I don't understand that at all. Contracts are not worth the paper they're on, said Mark. I was in there as well, Waleed, said Adam. So it was one of their subscribers went as far as mocking genocide. No chance, Waleed. I'm so sorry you had to see that. I am. No one should ever be that. And if anyone comes in this chat like that, they're gone. Out. And I'm being serious, like straight away. There's no mocking that at all. Out. I do not stand for shit like that. Not a chance. Not on my channel. They shout Ibu. All right, okay. It sounds like a boo, but they said Ibu. Okay, DB. I'm going to say I didn't think they booed Ibu. That makes no sense because I know he potentially wants to go, but it's only reports on him. I don't think he wants to go really. Newcastle putting Isak on the transfers, only damaging Newcastle. Their assets value dropped by half this time next summer. I think exactly that, Steve. I mean, like I said, they could keep a player that don't want to be there. Are they going to get the best of him? Probably not. And then they're going to lose a lot of money next season. And yes, the player's got his way, but it's a bit like the Trent situation. The player got his way in the end, but we've got to leave. We've got to leave respectfully. And if you want to go, get lost. As simple as that. If you don't want to be here, the door's right there. So let's get on to Darwin Nunez then. Romano came out this morning and confirmed Darwin Nunez is set to sign a 3-year deal with Al Hilal. And I said it this morning on this morning's stream, even though before, when I recorded it before all the news came out. I said the likely destination right now is Al Hilal because AC Milan's not putting the money up. Napoli didn't put the money up. Al Hilal are the only ones that have put the money up and put the money where the mouth is. So Al Hilal are going to get their man. And fair play to them for doing that. If you want a player, go put the money up and you go get him. And that fair play because Inzaghi wanted him. And I think it is a good move for him. Like I said, I think the Saudi Arabian Pro League is not good. It's not right there. Definitely not nowhere near the top, 5-6 leagues in the world. But at some point, they are going to come up. They've got so much ambition behind that league. They've got so much money behind that league. I think at some point it can hit heights. Right now, it's not, but I think it's a good move for Nunez. I don't think it'll ruin his. I've said it before. I don't think it'll ruin his World Cup squad selection because we've talked about him potentially. Oh, I might not go to Saudi Arabia because it might ruin his Saudi. Not a chance. It's not going to ruin his squad selection at the World Cup because at the end of the day, Nunez is probably one of the best Uruguayan players there. He's going to get picked regardless of what the league is in. Who's going to be above him? Suarez is way too old now. So at the end of the day, I don't think his international career is ever going to be up for debate at the moment. He's always performed at Uruguay. Well, not always, but some Uruguayan fans like him, some don't. But I think he's done a good job at Uruguay, and I don't think that place is ever up for debate. So it's a good move for him. I do think it's a good move for him. I wish him all the best. I've said this. I don't hate on players at all. Yes, I hate how he made us feel. I hate that he had 3 years. I don't think he should have another chance. I think the protection of Nunez were too much, but then the hate and the abuse were too far. There's always a middle ground to these things. Nunez didn't deserve abuse, but he also didn't deserve the protection that like he couldn't do anything wrong. There's a middle ground. He had brilliant times. We thanked them for brilliant times, some incredible moments, some brilliant goals, by the way. But he had some fucking dreadful moments. And I can't forget those. And he cost us big points. Luckily, we got away with it last season. Concerned Premier League will be quick for Wirtz. Too quick for Wirtz. No, Kev. Wirtz is that kind of player. He can slow games down just the way he is. He's a very, very good technical player. It is a quick league, but this guy has the physique, not just his body, but he has like the way he moves. He can keep up with the Premier League. I'm absolutely certain. But then again, and Steve said Wirtz will be too quick for the EPL. The thing is, what you need, you don't need to be physical. You don't need to be physical and fast in the Premier League if you've got this. You don't need to be that. You don't need to be physical and fast anyway in football if you've got this. Wirtz has this, but he is physically really good as well. But he has this right here. He'd be one step ahead of many players. Look at Thiago. The way Thiago played, he didn't play bombing up and down the pitch. He played with this, one step ahead of every player. Did you hear all this Barcola rumours linking in with Liverpool? Said T. Dot. Yeah, we're going to speak about Barcola. With Barcola linked to Casillas bringing free play 100 million. There's not a chance, little cop out. Not a chance we bring free £100 million players. I'm going to say that now with chest. There's no chance we bring free £100 million players. And you can clip it. I don't care if you come back and it happens. It's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. So yeah. Good luck to Darwin Nunez and his venture in Saudi Arabia because that is going to be pretty much done now. Deal agreed. There was a fee that they agreed on. Just trying to find it. I did have a fee. I think it was 45 million up. I think it's a fixed fee. I think it's like 55 million altogether. About that, 55 million pounds altogether for Darwin Nunez. Good fee. And I said they needed to bring the fee down. They have done, and they got the move. I said that needed to happen. The move for Wirtz, where he headed it over last night. Yeah, that was really unlucky. That brilliant cross and literally just over the bar, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Adam, I hope you enjoyed. I'm sure you enjoyed that game, and I hope your kids enjoyed that game. An absolute special moment that is. Let's swap Elliot and with Lekeba, said Steve. That's a good shout. That if RB Leipzig want Elliot, then at least we can get something out of it. Because we definitely need a centre back, and I'm a big fan of Lekeba. I really like Lekeba. We've spoken about Lekeba on here before. We did I think it was just me. I did do with someone else. Myself. I think it was just myself talking about Bundesliga players. Because we've got Wirtz. I did 5 Bundesliga players. This was before we got Wirtz. I said Wirtz would be a good Bundesliga player. Ekatike was on there. Lekeba was on there. Stiller, who I absolutely love Stiller, and Frimpong. There were 5 Bundesliga players. We've got 3 of them out of the. If you go back on our videos, you'll see it. Bundesliga signings. And there's 5 of them on the thumbnail, and 3 of them we've already bought. There's Lekeba and Stiller left. If we buy Stiller and Lekeba, someone is watching this channel for their scouting. Someone is watching this channel for scouting. I'm absolutely certain of it now because my dream signings were Wirtz, Isak, and Rodrigo, and that was about 4 or 5 months ago now. So someone is watching this channel at Liverpool and taking my scouting. Please pay me well for that. I'll at least name check me, just give some sort of credit where credit due and all that. But yeah, let's get on to the Barcola. People are talking about Barcola. Let's get on to him. Why not? Let's get on to him. If you're talking about him, let's get on to him. So in the last hour, the Barcola stuff is coming out. So David Kopp, the first one to report it. David Kopp has been absolutely fantastic, by the way. I'm hoping to get him on the channel. I've spoken to him. He said he wants to come on the channel. It's just finding time. It's been a busy time, Dave. So he was the first one that said Liverpool reportedly want to sign Bradley Barcola. So Loic Tanzi was the one that reported it from France. Liverpool want to sign PSG winger Barcola. Then Fabrice Hawkins, who is a reliable journalist in France, also backed that up. Barcola is on Liverpool's shortlist. PSG would want at least 100 million euros, which is 87.2 million pounds, to sell the winger. This is what Loic Tanzi said in the report as well. Liverpool are intensifying contacts with Barcola. Barcola has long known Liverpool are interested in his profile. Its recruitment process, the club doesn't really operate like others. Though its team and scouts, the English can follow a player for several years from a very young age, make contact with his entourage, monitor his progress, and sometimes even offer advice on career decisions. So throughout the career, even though we don't have the player, we could still give him career decisions if we got that contact with him, which is funny, really. Before finally launching a concrete phase to play the. Sorry, boys. Sorry, guys. to wear the red jersey. The English champions have used some of these methods with Barcola. So it's pretty much like the situation with Wirtz and how we got Wirtz. I wrote an article back in 2021 when Wirtz was... How old was Wirtz back then? It's about 17, 18. I wrote an article about it. And Liverpool were actually in contact with Wirtz's parents. He was in contact with Wirtz's parents. And we were speaking with Wirtz throughout then. So I think that contact between Liverpool and Wirtz has been there since. And what right now from Loic Tanzi is saying here is quite similar to Barcola. We have followed Barcola for quite a while. And we've been in contact with Barcola. And there's a potential that we've spoken to him throughout his career, monitored his progress, and even possibly give him advice throughout his career. That is very interesting because there's been many cases where we followed the player through their career and ended up getting them. You know, another one was Woodman as well. We bought Woodman this time. We actually went for him quite a while ago, and we've still kept in tabs with him, clearly. Wirtz was a proven backing of that. We spoke to him when he was younger, kept contact with his parents, clearly, because we were in contact with his parents. I wrote an article on it. And so it must be true now, the way it's all panned out with Wirtz. And we still kept them contacts there. So that does sort of give a bit of it actually might happen here with Barcola. If you're going on the Wirtz sort of situation, it's quite similar, it might happen. But the minimum price tag of Barcola is 100 million euros, which is 87.2 million pounds. This is Chris says there, don't rule out both Barcola and Isak. Chris, I'm sorry, but I'm rolling both of them out. There's not a chance. There's not a chance. There's not a chance. I'm sorry. I know this has been a window like no other, right? I know this has been a window like no other. It has, and I agree. But there's not a chance we sign both. especially when Rio Engelmo's played like he has in the preseason as well. Barcola will come in hopefully to push Gakpo, maybe even to play. He can play on the right as well. It's very good to play on the right. Maybe give Salah some competition. But there's no way we get both. I'm absolutely certain. The run by Chiesa, said Adam, he should have had a go at the goal instead. Chiesa was good again last night. He was very good again the other night. Very good. But it still looks like he's owing. It still looks like in fact, there was actually a report today about Chiesa still potentially leaving for Italy. That's why it's right now. That's what's going to happen. So we're losing Chiesa, we're losing Nunez. Diaz already out of the door. We definitely need a forward. Barcola is certainly one to be kept an eye on. I think it'd be a terrific signing if it was to come in, because I think he's sensational, by the way. Obviously, he's not. I won't say he's overlooked at PSG. It's just the fact that in front of him there's Dembele, there's Vatsakelia, and there's Doué. So it's not really he's not really overlooked as such. That'd be an insult to him. Overlooked is like a negative connotation on him, but it's more like there is actually some talent in front of him, real talent in front of him. And again, young lad, plenty of potential. I think he can hit big heights. And I think we've been looking at Barcola when he was at Lyon as well. He was sensational at Lyon, massive standout player at Lyon. That's where PSG went in and got him. But if PSG right now see him as like surplus requirements with the talent they have got, then fair enough. We said the same thing about Ekitike as well, said Chris. Is that for watching him throughout his career? I'd be interested in that, actually. Nunez and Elliott, money will fund Barcola. If he sold Isak money, we already have LFC. Said that they have no money to go big on Isak. Rodrigo for me and Isak, said Adam. Fabrizio Romano just confirmed that Liverpool want to sign Barcola. Has that just come out now? Let me have a look. Let me have a check then, Taylor. Let's have a check. I will always check for you guys. Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing to keep that updated as well in the chat, because obviously when I come on here, I try not to look at my phone. I'll go through what I've saved and stuff like that, but I've not seen anything on Romano. There we go. Thank you so much there. Thank you, said thank you, Taylor. So if Newcastle don't open the doors to the sale of Isak, Barcola is the dream winger target internally at Liverpool. Liverpool won't sign both. Priority remains Isak. There we go. I mean, I did say it with chest, didn't I? I won't say it for chest for no reason that we're not going to sign both. Romano just said there, Liverpool won't sign both. Priority remains Isak. We only sign Barcola if Isak don't come through the door. There was no way we're going to sign both. Absolutely no way. Mia says Barcola with heart eyes. Salah, Verts, Barcola, Isak. Mia, I know it looks good. Mia. I know it looks good, right? But we're not getting both. I wish if we got Barcola and Isak, that would be unbelievable. But we're not going to get both. We're not. It's going to be Isak or Barcola. It is. I wish I could say Mia. I wish I could say dream. I can't gaslight you like that. I'm not going to say dream because it's not. And again, like Mark said, Cody Gakpo. I said it last night. Cody Gakpo is very, very overlooked. The fact that people have Ekitike on the left wing over Cody Gakpo is mind-boggling me. Rebbe in the chat, like I said, Rebbe, I normally bring your comments up, but like I said earlier on, anyone that's been on the stream all stream, for some reason, I'm pressing the comments on Restream to bring the comments up on screen, and they're not coming up on screen. So Newcastle fans have act Restream. Newcastle fans are so not happy now with their transfer business. They're kicking off on their YouTube channels, and now they're ruining everyone else's YouTube channels. This is what Newcastle's doing. But so be it. Enjoy your season. We cannot wait about. We need to move now, said Jen. And I think that's the reason why we are moving now. I think I don't want us to use Barcola, but are we using this Barcola thing to maybe push Isak a little bit more? I don't know. Seems a bit coincidental. It's come out so quick. So Rebbe has come in there, said, evening everyone, evening Rebbe, how are you doing this evening? Barcola, since when was he the dream winger? That was Rodrigo. No. Yeah, I thought it was Rodrigo as well, the dream winger. But like I said, the Rodrigo thing, it's going to be too much in wage, isn't it? If he's not willing to drop his wage, then we can't do it about it, mate. Honestly, you just have to suffer at Madrid. I'm starting to feel nervous again about fumbling the Isak deal this summer. I don't care about Barcola, said Brett. Do you not like Barcola? Barcola's sensational. The best Barcola to watch, though, is watch him when he was at Lyon. He was unbelievable. He hadn't really. He's done all right at PSG. It's just the fact that Doué is in front of him, Kvaratskhelia is in front of him, Dembele's in front of him. And that's no shame on him at all. But at Lyon, it was sensational. He was one of the players I was looking at for a long time when he was at Lyon. Absolutely. Linking us with Barcola puts pressure on Newcastle to sell Isak, keeping on a happy player, value drops. Exactly, Steve. Could it be a tactic? But I don't want to use Barcola's tactics. I really appreciate Barcola. I think he's a fantastic player. Either Isak or Barcola, I'm happy with. I love Ekitike. I'm a massive fan of his. Mia said there. Yeah, Ekitike is a brilliant player. I've said that all the time. He's a very good player. I just don't like him coming in by himself. I think he needs competition. I think he's too young and too raw at the moment to come in by himself. And Isak is that competition. Or if Barcola comes in, it just gives more forward options. Barcola is probably, from what I've seen of his playing style, possibly, I'm not saying play up front, but he can cover last resort sort of cover. He's got the ability. Rebecca says here, hacked by the Magpies. Yeah, exactly. They're pecking at something outside those Magpies. Because they're not happy, because these Magpies are not happy with what's going on in their transfer window, they're kicking off on YouTube channels. I don't know if you've seen clips of YouTube and things like that. By the way, I'm trying to get, I've got a Newcastle fan willing to come on here. He's just going to get time. He's on a big channel as well, so I'll get him on here. Anyone knows Pete Davey? Very, very good Newcastle, content creator, Pete Davey. Fantastic creator. I've been on with him with a stream before with Absolute Football Podcast, and I absolutely love the time I spent with him. So I'm hoping to get him on at some point. So if you do go onto his channel, let him know. I'm waiting. But yeah, I don't think Magpies are very happy with what's going on right now. So they are coming to our YouTube channels and hacking and not letting me show your comments. So I do apologize tonight. I'm not going to lie, Barcola is way too similar to Doku for my liking. Oh no, he's got. I get what you mean. The style of play, Weber, Barcola and Doku, they are quite similar the way the style of play, but Barcola is a bit more creative around that box, and that's what we need. But do we need it really? Because we've got Verts and Salah, but it just adds more creation. I think he's a brilliant player. Steve says Barcola's finishing his Nunez level. Is not. I don't know what Barcola you've watched, guys. You must have watched PSG Barcola, because Leon Barcola is different. I was in the Anfield Road end, very near the corner flag, brilliant view and seats, Adam. Adam, I'm so jealous you went overnight. I'm so jealous. I really am. I'm not. I'm just happy you had a good time with your kids, mate. Honestly, that is the best thing that you could ever do as a dad. It really is. PSG don't want to sell Barcola and they won't give him a new contract, but PSG are ready to sign Rodrigo in case he goes to Liverpool. Romano, is that what he said? I've not seen that either. You guys are coming up with the breaking news. You're like, what's the point in having Romano? What's the point in having these people when you guys are so on it as quick as I am? So yeah, the only thing I've seen is about for Romano. If Nunez, Diaz, Chiesa leaves, it's not both of them. So yeah, so the only thing I've seen from Romano there is it's not going to be both Isak and Barcola. Despite Diaz going, despite Chiesa going, despite Nunez going, it's not going to be both. It's going to be one of them. And the priority still remains Isak. And if we can't get Isak, if that shuts the door, we will open the door for Barcola. But then the problem is how long do we wait for that? Because how long do we wait for that? Do we shut the door now, Isak, or do we give him a little bit more time? But could we miss out on Barcola? And we don't want to look at Barcola being just like a second option, even though he will be a second option. We don't want to make a player feel like that. So it's interesting. So yeah, someone has actually put in the chat there. Darius coming in with Florian Plettenberg. Let's get on to that now. 6 minutes ago, Florian Plettenberg, Darwin Nunez to Al Hilal done deal, according to Florian Plettenberg. Full agreement has been reached with Liverpool. Nunez has given the green light also. Contract until 2028. Medical will follow up once paperwork is completed. Top salary. An important sale for Liverpool, who are still working on a move for Isak and also want to sign a top winger. So Florian Plettenberg saying there, we want to get Isak and a top winger. Plettenberg, don't do this to me. We're not going to do that. It's either Isak or Barcola. So don't say that. It's not. But he has said and top winger there. Why has he said that? I don't know. I don't know if I fully trust Florian Plettenberg though. Since Verts called him out about the number 10 thing, since Verts called him out, I don't know if I can fully trust Plettenberg. I think he's right on Nunez and being completed to Al Hilal. I think that's pretty much done. So I agree with that report. But regarding Liverpool are working on a deal to sign Isak and the top winger, I just think we possibly are trying to get Isak, but still trying to make a move for Barcola at the same time to cover our backs in case Isak don't come. Maybe it's like that. As DB said there, remember to like and subscribe if you are new people. Road to 5K, you'll never walk alone, said DB. Yeah, if you guys do me one favor, that's all I should do. I try my best on here, give you the best news, the best content I physically can. I want to give you the news as quick as I can, the best I can. I even did a stream at R6 this morning. I did a recording this morning at 6:30 before I went out the door. But I want to give you the best. But all I ask for you is just subscribe and like the video. Liking the video takes 2 seconds and it helps out massively. So that's all I ask, but I never ask anything else. Definitely not. Number 7 suits Vert, says Adam. It absolutely does. Absolutely does. Central defender is my pressing transfer right now. So yeah, that's what we definitely need to do. Is go get a defender. And this is why I want this Isak saga just to finish, if I'm honest. I do want it to finish because we really need to focus on a centre back. Gehi. And if it's not Gehi, we need another centre back. We've got to. Steve said here, Isak, Barcola, Gehi replacement, Nunez, Diaz, and Kwanzaa in the squad. Don't want Barcola, just Isak, said Abra. I get, yeah, if I had to choose, it's Isak number 1, clearly, because we need a striker. We need another striker. But Barcola's a good option as a backup sort of thing. But yeah, I still want Isak number 1 for me. Isak's number 1. There we go. There we go. Newcastle fans are on it now. Newcastle fans are back. They're getting excited. They're getting excited because we're linked to Barcola. They're sniffing, they're smelling the chance of keeping Isak. When it's going to be there to their detriment anyway, because he's not going to play well for them. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win. Barcola can't finish period, said Abra. Leon, he could. I think he might have gone down a little bit in the PSG. I know I'm getting the whole tweet. What would be familiar? Is that failure for us this season? Also, the minimum, said Adam. Good question, Adam. Good question. Good question. Good question. What is a failure for us, and what's the minimum? So we need to win something. We need to win a cup. We need to win. I think Carabao Cup's it's not really a minimum. I think Carabao Cup can only come on its own if we absolutely push the title to the end of the season and we do well in Champions League. But for me, we need to win at least an FA Cup. But you say, yeah, we're favourites to win the league, and we should be winning the league because we are favourites. Favourites should win. But in context, I think all we need to do, this is what I've always said regarding Liverpool, we've never needed not to win the league every season. We need to at least challenge for the league and give our manager the best chance of winning the league every single season. We should be challenging in the league. We should be challenging in the Champions League. We should be getting minimum at least the same as Champions League. You don't know how you're going to go. You could lose the Champions League, right? It could be a dodgy decision to go against you, and that's the end of that. But we should be fighting for these trophies. That's the bare minimum at Liverpool. That should always be the bare minimum at Liverpool. We should be fighting for trophies every single year. The biggest of trophies. The Champions League, the Premier League, and even the FA Cup. I'm not discrediting the Carabao Cup, but it's not the big trophy. The big trophies are the Premier League and Champions League, and the FA Cup comes after that. But we need to be challenging these big trophies. And this is what we should have done before, when we stood still before, and we fell off. And it's not the fact that we didn't win the leagues before. It's the fact that we fell so far back, we went into the Europa League because we stood still. Now, we're not standing still. Now we're going forward. We need to go and push and get these league titles and get these Champions Leagues. We have got to be successful. Within a 5-year period, we need to be winning. Where we are right now, we need to win at least 3 league titles in a 5-year period. If we want dominance, if that's our aim, we want dominance, that's what we should be doing. We should be doing what Man United did in the 90s. We should be doing what City have just done recently. That's what we should be looking at to do. But is it a failure if we don't win the league? Is it a failure if we don't win the Champions League? Context. Context is absolutely key. If we go out in the Champions League in the group stage, that is a massive failure. If we got this, say if we go out in the Champions League semi-final, right, and we play shit, that's a failure. If we go out in the Champions League semi-final and we done anything right in that game, and we simply got beaten by the best team that day, I won't say it's a failure. I think context is very key in football and just in life in general, in debates in general. For me, a failure is when you're not done enough to be good enough, or you're not being good enough. I'm talking about like really, really, not you don't deserve to be where you are. But yeah, context is very key. I think Edwards wants us to have a good fighting chance to retain the league title, like the last time we won the league. Exactly, Tony. Exactly that. We didn't, and people. This is why people wouldn't listen. They wouldn't listen back then. They wouldn't listen. Oh, we could, but Man City cheated. Man City cheated. That's why we didn't win the league. We ended up fucking 5th. Arsenal, Tottenham finished above us in one season. How's that Man City cheating got anything to do with us? Of us standing still. That was bollocks. Us not winning the league title because Man City cheated. We didn't win the league title because Man City cheated. We finished fucking 5th. We ended up in the Europa League. That's nothing to do with Man City with cheating. Did Man United beat us one season? They came 2nd. Nothing to do with Man City cheating that. We failed ourselves. We should have looked in the mirror. We should have blamed ourselves for that drop off. Now we're looking like we're wanting to go again. He said it the other day. We need to act like Liverpool. We are Liverpool, one of the biggest clubs in the world. We're acting like it, and we're doing that now. That's what we should be doing. So we should need to start doing that on the pitch. We need to start doing it off the pitch to ensure on the pitch we go again. And that's that's all I've always expected of the board. That's all always I've expected of Liverpool and the FSG is making sure you do enough to give the manager to go again. Because Jurgen Klopp was failed. I'll say it right there. Jurgen Klopp was failed. And I don't want Slot to be that same person. I don't want Slot to be failed. And right now he's not, which is fantastic. I agree. Failure would be finishing 5th, but totally agree. We need to be challenging every season, pushing all the way. Exactly, but Adam, that's it. No one. There's going to be someone out there probably that does expect the title every single season. It's near impossible to win the title every single season. There's a reason why, in Champions League as well. There's a reason why only Real Madrid have won it 3 times in a row. Champions League, the first team to win it twice in a row, because it's not impossible, but it's very rare. You're not expected to win the title every single season on the Champions League, but we've got to push for the title every single season. And we should win at least title or Champions League within a space of time, if that makes sense. I heard ISAK Alexander transfer question, Tony said there. Where have you heard this, my friend? Where have you heard this? I've not seen that. I've not seen that. But yeah, Romano is confirming Al Hilal. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, so Florian Pettenberger was spot on about it. I said it, I believe him regarding Nunez. Here we go on Darwin Nunez to Al Hilal. Verbal agreement all completed. 53 million euros plus add-ons to Liverpool as revealed today. 3-year deal for Nunez. Nunez said yes, and Inzaghi only wanted him. Medical next. It is confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. Congratulations to Nunez on his move. And like I said earlier, wish him all the best in that move. I don't hate on a player. I'm angered by what he gave us, but I'm also delighted with what he's given us as well. But not worth the money. Didn't work out at Liverpool. Is that we've got to be brutal there with the transfer. Good luck with Al Hilal, Nunez. And I'm glad I don't have to reinsure my TV this season. Unless Ekatike pulls a Nunez. He better not do now. I'm not reinsuring my TV. I didn't smash my TV, by the way, guys. Don't think I did. I didn't smash my TV. I wouldn't ever smash my TV over football. I'll just kick it. Nah, you'll see me what I'm like this season anyway. Doing watch longs. I do get a bit animated, but it is what it is. That's just passion in it. Yeah, Isak transfer request report as Toon review, said Benny. So Tony has said to turn a transfer request, and so has Benny. You guys better not be having me on. If you're having me on, I'll remember. If you're having me on, you better not be having me on. I've not seen anything yet. Someone else needs to confirm. I know 2 of them have confirmed it, but I've not seen anything about a transfer request. I know Dave O'Cop said there could be a formal transfer request incoming if he has to, but surely it'd be on here, and surely someone would have posted it in the chat as well, on the WhatsApp chat. Nothing. Oh, by the way, guys, as well, Man United have found some more money from somewhere. They've got Sesko, they've got Mbuemo, they've got Kuna. They're going for Baleba. By the way, it's a signing, by the way. If Man United got Baleba, I'd be fucking fuming if they got Baleba. He's a brilliant player. And he's a DM that I would absolutely love at Liverpool. He would just clean up everything and allow all the skillful players we have at Liverpool, all the technical players at Liverpool just to shine. He would. Baleba's unbelievable. If Man United get him, that's a brilliant signing. Jane says confirm what? So yeah, are you on about Romano there, Jen? So Romano has confirmed the transfer of Nunez. Here we go. He's giving a here we go. So yeah, Darwin Nunez has signed for Al Hilal, medical pending, basically. So yeah, good luck to Darwin Nunez on that. But I'm still not seeing anything on the transfer request. These guys, I am looking for the transfer request, but I've not seen anything on a transfer request on Isak. Not at all. You know what? You know. Anyone that watches these streams knows. We'll finish about 2 minutes time, like a minute time now. 8:30. Watch 8:30. Some news will come out about Isak. He'll have transfer request. It always happens. Always happens. Every time I do a stream at even at 7:00, something happens at 8:30, 9:00 into the night. Something always happens after the stream. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, certainly. Mark said David X's in Edwards and Hughes are saying to FSG that Isak will lead the line for Liverpool for years. He will do. He will do. Absolutely will do. And remember, Ekitike is only young as well, so he's got plenty of time on his hands. Isak Barcola from Fabrizio Romano said Fireburn. Yep, it actually is. We definitely had a few people excited in the chat earlier saying, could we get both? We're not going to get both, unfortunately. I wish it was true, but we're not going to get both. But yeah, one second before we do go, Paul Joyce has come out and said something. Mark Gahey has entered the final year's contract at Palace. Liverpool may follow up their interest depending on their asking price. There's a strong interest in Parma's 18-year-old centre-back Giovanni Leone, who is also wanted by Inter Milan. Isak, of course, has been the saga of the summer, and the next installment of that story cannot be far away. There we go. The next twist and turn. There's been so many twists and turns. I feel like a piece of pasta right now. There's so many twists and turns. Honestly, and we've still got more. Paul Joyce has said it there. The next installment of that story cannot be far away. Keep an eye on everyone in the chat. And if you want to keep updated on the twists and turns of Alexander Isak, Liverpool, Newcastle, everything that you want in the Liverpool content channel, this is the place for you. If you want to be told when Isak is moving, when you get updated on the latest stuff, this is the channel for you. Talking Reds. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't done already. Like the video. It helps out massively. It takes 2 seconds to like the video. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, and get your notification bells on as well, because it will tell you when we are live and it'll also tell you when we get content out as well. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for getting in chat tomorrow. I'm hoping that the Newcastle fans are not hacking Restream tomorrow and I can get your comments up onto screen. But it is what it is tonight. So I can't get your comments up right now. But thank you for watching anyway. Thank you for getting the comments in.